the majestic lions and lionesses. How are you guys doing in this month of December? It's Sagittarius season. I don't know about you. I think I said this in Aries season too. I always love fire sign season because it just gets me so good. It feels so good. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Sagittarius, so fire sign season, I love it. But air sign season, I also love it. Earth sign season, okay. Good for money. Water sign season is brutal. How was Scorpio season treating you? It was brutal for me. It was brutal for some of my fire signs friends too. Okay, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Anissa from The Inner Stereo. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. As usual, I'm going to be covering your relationship sector, meaning that you could always apply this with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I am basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign because I tend to realize that with my readings, I resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign. Okay? So let's start your reading right now, Leo. You have the High Priestess, you have the Two of Cups in reverse, and you also have the Three of Cups in reverse. The Two of Cups in reverse and Three of Cups in reverse is kind of like a tough feeling. Why? Because you're letting go. Not really letting go, but you're kind of like feeling disappointed because there is this one particular condition in which you see that your partner or whoever you're dealing with is not meeting you eye to eye. The Two of Cups also talks about a falling out that is happening. And I feel like you guys kind of like, I don't feel like you guys are much more affected by it when it comes to mental state. Emotions maybe, but mental state not so, okay? Because you're the High Priestess in here. So the High Priestess means that rather than you dealing with it and thinking much about it and obsessing over it, you choose to back away, back into your zen, and distance yourself from the situations. Whether, why am I feeling this way? What do I want to do right now with my life? Do I want to love this person or do I want to hate this person? Do what he does to me or what he or she does to me, was it tolerable or was it not tolerable for me? So you guys are now Switzerland. You're very, very neutral. It's one of your way to protect your emotions as well. You kind of like accept it. All right, I'm disappointed right now. And one of the reasons why you're feeling that way, the Two of Cups in reverse, is because you have the Three of Cups in here in reverse as well. Three of Cups in reverse, it talks about you starting to feel that this relationship has nothing to add to your growth, has nothing to add to your gain. Because Three of Cups, we're talking about a relationship where a friendship aspect of it is really, really strong as the romantic aspect. So it's a very, very fruitful, joyous, supporting type of relationship. And you're starting to see, well, why is it that when I do that, when I'm in love with this person, why is this person not add to my gain, not add to my positive, but it just drains me? Is because there is this lack of friendship aspect. When you lack friendship aspect, you don't understand each other that much. You don't try to understand, just like when you're with your best friends, you know, but just with a glare, with a glance, with a spotted signal, you can understand one another. And I feel like this is something that is missing within this relationship. What is challenging you? You have the Queen of Swords and you also have the Tower card in reverse. So there was something that was happening that a tower moment, a completely dare of something that was unstable. And it's a good one because it destroys the instability of the force. Sometimes people think that this is my comfort zone. This is what I used to know. This is what I used to feel. Holding on to it super duper tightly, but then universe or God has other plan and it destroys that stability so that you can grow to 6. So it's either you need to get out of that comfort zone and start rebuilding something, just taking a bit of pieces from there to grow, or you can completely say that, okay, maybe it was not meant to be, and then you go to 6th, where you felt like you're in a spotlight, where you felt like you're victorious, where you felt like you're winning, where you felt like, yes, I'm a survivor, you know what I mean? Like you're a Venus and Mercury retrograde survivor. The Tower card also talks about the bottled up feelings that is kind of like killing you from the inside. Everything that you hold in, up to the point that you just want to vomit everything that you've been holding in. And that's still challenging in here, okay? You're dealing with the Queen of Swords, somebody who is very, very airy energy. Somebody who has a very, very trust issues when it comes to love. And sometimes people don't really show that side of them, you know. in the beginning, they might seem very, very charming. They might seem very, very playful. They might seem very, very flirtatious. They might seem very, very emotionally stable, wise, you know, like a eligible bachelor or a bachelorette, you know what I mean? But deep down inside, they're having this really, really cold, detached type of energy deep within them. And because they have trust issues, they don't want to get wronged. And you guys don't want to get wronged as well, right? The Queen of Swords also is the type of person, I mean, they're not a bad person, but they've been hurt in the past. And they think that this is the only way for them to protect their heart chakra. People have a very, very different defense mechanism when it comes to the matter of the heart. Some people try to avoid love altogether. Some people try to approach love, but then they're very, very wary. If you triggers their insecurities, they're going to back away, or they're going to lash out, or you're going to be meeting with their source, the silent treatment, the passive aggressiveness, and stuff like that. The demand, the nagging, the controlling nature that you don't see it happening, the gaslighting and stuff like that. You know, it just drives you nuts. You don't see it. You don't see the friendship aspect of it. So in the past, you guys have the Princess of Wands here. So this Princess of Wands has a very, very waiting type of energy. So it's either they come waiting for you and they have this letter prepared. Okay? They have this letter prepared, but the way that this Princess of Wands is directing is kind of like directing outside of the relationship. So for those few Leos out there, I'm not going to say all the Leos out there, but for few Leos out there, you probably was dealing with somebody who was also waiting for somebody else. I'm gonna pull the present card before I talk, okay? Yung makatumasa sekarang. I'm so very thankful for my ex. Thank you, miss. I've been hearing that song on the radio. I love your energy further now, though, because you're able to be the high priestess, you know what I mean? You able to not look into the tiny little bit of imperfections. You're not being very, very vengeful, resentful. Like, you're not focusing on one particular emotions that makes you come up as being the King of Chalices in here. Somebody who is emotionally very, very stable. Somebody who listens to their subconscious. So I feel like you're now in a period where you're just going to buy time. And if there is red flags, okay, I'm going to put it into my consideration and stuff like that. But it doesn't also stop the fact that you have the Empress quality in you. And Leo, no matter whatever people or astrologers say about you, you know, I always see this quality in you, the Empress, the people-pleasing quality. When you're in love with somebody, you have the tendency to put them first before you. You have that, you know, you want to place that type of energy. And when you guys are being the high priestess, it kind of like pushes this beautiful quality that you have at the front. Okay, so there's no more room for confrontations. You guys are so sick and tired of confrontational. You just want to lower down your weapons and just talk things through. You're being very, very diplomatic in here with the Empress card. Okay, so let's go from the past, okay? I'm jumping. All right, so let's go from the past. If you're dealing with one person, this person was kind of like bluffing a bit. This person is kind of like bluffing a bit. You have the Ace of Swords in reverse in here. It's a lies. There was lies that was going on, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why you chose to walk away from this relationship. And then you chose to not give it a bit of thought because you're Temperance card here. Were you mourning? Were you sad? Yes, you were. But when they do that, they're kind of like actually waiting. So here's the thing. I feel like it was more like a test. Will you chase me or will you not chase me, Leo? This is them, kind of like waiting, and this is you. So you felt like they were distancing. So you're kind of like mourning, like, why is this person suddenly walking away? But the truth of the matter is they're still waiting. Okay, this is if you're only dealing with one person. The truth of the matter is they're still waiting for you to come back. they're still here. They're still waiting for you to come back. So it's some sort of like a test with the Ace of Swords in here. Emotionally, they're still very, very much Queen of Chalices with you. The Queen of Chalices is a good thing. Is it a good thing? I'm going to say yes, it's a good thing, because we're talking about emotional openness. We're talking about emotional vulnerability, availability. But the thing about the Queen of Chalices in this particular deck of mine, they don't have something that protects them in the back. Meaning that this is the type of person who is emotionally very, very high maintenance. And when somebody acts up on their emotions, they can be seen as somebody who is a little bit petty. So there's like a little bit of a petty games going on in here. And because this person is way, way, way too emotional, this person is very, very emotionally high maintenance. And when they do that, instead of falling to that booby trap, you guys were like the Temperance card. Okay, maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe I should let it go and stuff like that. If you're dealing with two people, again, as I said, person A is a person who you were mourning over, but they actually were in fact waiting for you. Person B is somebody who's worshipped the hell out of you, somebody who is very, very emotionally open and available towards you. But I feel like because you're still dealing with this Eight of Cups feeling with them, the Eight of Cups in this particular deck of mine has a very, very different than a traditional Rider-Waite tarot. So it's much more of a mourning phase when somebody chose to walk away. Because you're so much focusing on this energy, you're just kind of like buying time. All right, you're a good person. I see the good qualities in you. So I'm going to take a time. I'm going to figure you out a bit. Okay. Now, person A, who you were mourning over this childish mind games happening in the past, this person suddenly became the King of Pentacles in the now. Okay, this person suddenly became the King of Pentacles. It's kind of like they presenting themselves like, look, I've changed. Okay, there's no more petty games. There's no more passive-aggressive, silent treatment. I leave, you should chase me and stuff like that. Those petty games is over. I'm over and done with it. Like right now, I just want to have something stable. They will present themselves that way to you. And it's in the present card, so it's not happening now. It's going to happen like really, really soon in the span of 7 days to come. Okay? They're going to be the King of Pentacles. And when they do that, you're going to be an Empress. So you're going to be like, okay, let's talk about it. You're going to be very, very diplomatic about it. Although you feel disappointed in here, you're being very, very diplomatic. I feel like, oh, Libra also got this. They're being very, very diplomatic this month too. You're going to be very, very diplomatic, but you're, different than when you were in the past. Whatever this person says, you're not going to take it and just like that. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to filter it. I'm going to see what happens if you fulfill your promises, if you deliver whatever it is that you've been promising me to do, I'm pleased. But if you don't, then, well, you haven't changed. You don't put much expectations again. You're much more emotionally stable in the now. If you're dealing with one person, this person still does have the Two of Swords quality in this relationship. So it's different. I mean, in the past, they were so very much emotionally vulnerable towards you. But I feel like because their game kind of like bite them back in their bum, and they was like, oh no, I have to do this, don't I? With the being the King of Pentacles, and now they're kind of like indecisive whether they really want in or they really want out. You have the Queen of Swords in here. Okay. Why would anybody do that? I mean, it hurts both of you. It really does hurt both of you. But if you're dealing with, have I said about dealing with two people? I haven't, have I? Oh my God, my Sagittarius mind. But anyway, if you're dealing with two people, person A, they're going to be presenting themselves as somebody who is like, look, I'm changed. You're going to be diplomatic with them. And person B, who is very, very emotionally available and vulnerable towards you in the past, this person is going to be kind of like quite indecisive because they see you like, they're very, very intuitive. The Queen of Chalices is somebody who is very, very intuitive. So they kind of like see that something is off. So now they're kind of like quite indecisive whether or not I should do this. But the overall theme, if you're dealing with two people, is looking great though. Let's see what's happening in the future. Thank you. Next. Ooh. One more card, Leo. One more card, breathe. Star card in reverse. Damn it. Princess of Chalices. They're trying. I mean, if you're only dealing with one person, this person is trying. But the thing is that you've been hurt so much. They're trying, that you've been hurt so much. You've been hurt so much. This is them. This is you. You're just tired of picking up the pieces again. Picking up the debris and try to work things. So if you're dealing with one person, this person will start to have an understanding about what is it that they need to do. They have the Knight of Chalices, it's the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups in this particular deck of mine is kind of like quite different because this is the bug and this is Ten of Cups. So they want to have the collective happiness with you. They want to have a Ten of Cups with you, but they also understand that in order for them to achieve that, they also need to make peace with themselves. So they're focusing much more on self-improvement, self-mastery, trying to make themselves happy in some way so that they could be happier in a relationship. So they don't get too obsessive over you. Again, as I said, this person is very, very emotional. So when somebody is emotional and then when they are in a relationship, they have the tendency to become anxious, obsessive. And I feel like this fits their criteria a bit. And they understand that that part of them is kind of like quite destructive towards the relationship. So they're like, okay, you know what? I need to do something for myself so that I don't get too anxious, obsessing over this love. Anxious, obsessing over the tiny little bits of matters that actually doesn't matter, but I make a big deal out of it. They're trying to focus on that. And they are willing to work it out with the Magician card here. But then you guys are the King of Swords. So it's like you're waiting. You're waiting, but just one tiny bit of a thing that reminds you of what was happening in the past, it will set you off because you have the King of Swords here. And as you can see, the King of Swords is holding a book. Okay? It could be a literal book or note or a mental note that you write inside of yourself that you remember, like that time, that person did me wrong like this. That time, that person did me wrong like this. And it grew so much as a resentment in you to the point that, like, nah. And then because they're the Nine of Chalices, so they're going to be doing stuff that will make themselves happy first in order for them to get that collective happiness. You're starting to see, they're not changed. They haven't changed. So you have the Star card in reverse here. They're actually willing to change. They're willing to make amends here. They're trying to improve themselves a lot because they're still the same. You know, when you were in high school and you're starting to worship your crush, you're anxiously obsessing over your crush, that's the same. Like every little thing means a lot. Like just you drinking and glancing, like it means a lot. Just like that, it's the same thing. So this person is really anxious, obsessive towards you. But the downside to it is that they get too emotional. So if they don't have, how do you put it politely? Like if they don't have a life or if they don't have something that makes them obsessed with in other areas of their life, for instance, their work, their family, or whatever that is, they became anxious, obsessive in this relationship, which is kind of destructive in some ways, okay? If you're dealing with two people, the person that was hurting you, this person is going to be the Nine of Chalices, but still, it reminds you so much, like I don't feel like you're going to let this person in. Instead, you have the person who is emotionally very, very vulnerable and open towards you. They're willing to manifest and work it out together with you. But I feel like because you're still focusing on the energy of the past person, that just like this, the Star card in reverse, you feel like you don't have your wish fulfilled. But since this is just like a 1 week reading, so it's okay though. Okay? So, this is too long. Thank you so much for watching this video, Leo. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll see you guys in a few days for the continuation of this. All right? Bye-bye.